And last but not least, last part of our show, she was the co-founder of the leading global video advertising marketplace called Unruly. And Unruly scaled to over 200 employees and 15 offices before being acquired by News Corp. She's a board member of Tech Nation, a growth platform for UK tech entrepreneurs, so sort of the UK version of Tech Leap, so to say. She's been named Veuve Clicquot Businesswoman of the Year, City AM Entrepreneur of the Year, Businesswoman of the Year 2016. And she also wrote this amazing book about accelerating your leadership potential called Stepping Up. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from the UK.
Hey, it's lovely to be here. It's nice to see so many faces, so many friendly faces.
A warm welcome for you. First of all, you just tuned in. You were in a board meeting. It's so cool that you could make it.
Oh, no worries. And yeah, it's a Tech Nation board meeting. They're always really interesting because there's so much going on. And actually at the moment, and I'm sure it's the same way you are, you just start to feel as though the world is waking up and the tech ecosystem is starting to spin again. So there's lots going on in terms of new investments, lots of excited entrepreneurs starting businesses, lots of companies either just IPO'd or planning to IPO. So yeah, it's a really fun time.
So what's the past year been like for you? Because you've been working from home mostly, I guess?
Yeah, absolutely. This is one of the luxuries of being a non-exec director and having a portfolio career is that unlike being a founder when you are kind of monomaniacally focused on your one business and you kind of want to be there and to be in it and to be there every moment of the day if you can be. When you sit on several boards, so I don't need to be anywhere in person. And actually it's been fantastic doing calls on Zoom because it's a level playing field. So actually I love the fact that it's a bit of a level of this, and it doesn't matter where you are, it doesn't matter how many kids you've got in the background. If you've got Chris, you can just get rid of them all, and we can talk on a level from everywhere, regardless of what our situations are. So yeah, it's been personal difficulties obviously aside with illness. It's been good.
So you sold your company to News Corp, the very famous company by the Murdochs, a while back. Is it a lot different now that you're not committed as an entrepreneur, but mostly helping others?
Yeah, it is, and partly you don't have the same kind of daily levels of stress basically, and I know there's lots of entrepreneurs on the call, and you just feel like you've got the weight of the world on your shoulders when it's your business, and it means everything to you. Certainly that's how it felt to me. It meant the world to me, and it was very hard to switch off. It was very hard to think about anything else. I just wasn't really present for many other people in my life. I managed to be a partner and a mum, but I didn't really manage to be a great daughter, a great friend. It wasn't possible for me to play all those roles. And now I'm just loving being there for friends and family, and also being more kind of emotionally available and having more bandwidth for other entrepreneurs. It's great investing in companies that I really believe in, spending time with entrepreneurs, especially female entrepreneurs who are just looking to speak to someone who's been there and scaled their businesses, and that's always really fun. And being exploratory. When you're in a business, you've got your head down, it's tunnel vision. And even if it's good tunnel vision, it's tunnel vision because you know what you're doing, you know what your OKRs are, you've just got to execute. It's still tunnel vision. So it's wonderful when you come out the other side and you can just spend a bit more time looking at other tech areas that maybe you hadn't considered. So I've been really enjoying all various AI businesses that are kind of getting up and running, invested in a couple of those recently. Health tech, med tech, you could just be a lot more exploratory. And as someone who's curious, obviously I love that.
So I read your book last week. It came out in 2018. It's about accelerating leadership potential. And I really just loved it. I loved your insights, and I loved your all the examples that you give, and to help people, entrepreneurs, but also people within companies, to become the best version of themselves, basically. And I wanted to get some portion of the book today, because not everyone has read it, I guess. And maybe you can elaborate a bit on that. And one of the things that you say is leadership is not the exclusive domain of some privileged C-suite enclave. Leadership is everywhere. What did you mean by that?
Well, I guess lots of people are already leading and are already leaders, but not everybody maybe recognises that in their own lives. For me, growing Unruly, what became clearer, the more the company grew, the more complicated the business became, the more markets we went into, the more important I could see it was for everybody to feel ownership and to take leadership. And it happened everywhere. When you allow it, when you permit it, when you celebrate people taking leadership, it's remarkable what a company can achieve. And in many ways, the success of Unruly was quite remarkable. We had big competitors with YouTube, with Facebook, with our small competitor AOL, with our new entrant to the market, Amazon. It was a really tough market. And yes, we had great data. Yes, we had good tech. But that wasn't enough to succeed, I don't think. But what we had was fantastic people who all were prepared to not just go the extra mile in terms of putting in time, but prepared to think about the business, to think like a business owner, and come up with new ideas and new products and new processes, and also do that in a way that made it fun for everybody. And everybody felt safe because they were with people who were working on the same mission, but who were good people who cared about the business.
Now here at Endeit, we really believe in diversity and inclusion. And I think that's also one of the topics that's really focused on in your book. You say, we need to reset the rules on our leadership culture, making it more diverse, more representative, and more open. The book was written in 2018, but it's still true today, isn't it?
It's even more true today. Absolutely, and we are seeing improvements in terms of diversity. Certainly on boards in the UK, we're seeing much more of a mix of people. Yes, in terms of gender, in terms of ethnicity, although less so there, but also in terms of age and in terms of expertise. And that's great because actually diversity means better decision making, better understanding of the customer, better understanding of all the different stakeholders. So it's absolutely critical that as we build our companies, we think about the people within them and the people who are making decisions, because we're only there to serve our customers, and we need to make sure we have the best possible team to help us do that.
Now you also say that people who are running companies, but also work within these companies, sort of need to be the optimist in chief, and I really like that term.
Yeah. I think that's right, because there's so much to go wrong when you're scaling your business. And if anyone on this call is scaling their business right now going, well, yeah, it's all going wrong. Well, yeah, that's every business, going wrong every day. But what I realised, what really excited me in the end about scaling tech companies was it's not like a logical maths. It's not like you fail, and it gets worse and worse. It's like you fail and fail and fail and fail, and it adds up to something that can still be quite spectacular. Because of all the mistakes that you've made and everything that you've learned, you can mess up every day, but if you're prepared to understand why, and if you learn from that and grow and evolve, you can still have really good outcomes.
You also say that you need to be kind to yourself, but also that you need to work on your empathy towards others. Cappy already mentioned it today, that it's even more important maybe in COVID times, where you don't get to see each other on a daily basis, but maybe send some email to someone which tone is a bit harsh, maybe.
But you were so right, and I was the worst for this. Sending late night emails was just something. It was one of my Achilles heels actually, because I would still be working late into the night because I own the business. And I really cared about it, and I was wanting to get ahead of the next day at midnight or 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. And what I realised is they were always the moments when I would send out the mails that I regretted the next day. So over time, gradually, I learned not to send those mails, to write them, sure, but then wait till the next morning. And then half the time, I would still press send. But then the other half, I wouldn't. And I'd kind of reread what I'd written and would reread the mail that had made me so angry. And I think, well, that sounds fair enough. I don't know why I got so upset about that. So, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, having not kind of letting emotions run away with you, and tiredness was super important. And the kindness thing, I think, is absolutely critical, because if you're scaling a tech company, it's tough, and it's emotionally draining over a very long period of time. So you want to be kind to the people around you, And when you're kind to each other, you all start feeling stronger and better prepared to make difficult decisions.
Yeah, two final questions, two final lessons maybe from your book Stepping Up, and I can really recommend people to get a copy. You say you need to cultivate a leadership network. So you need to. What do you mean by that?
Yeah. Anyone who's got a great network doesn't need to. Just stop listening now, because you already know how important it is, and you already know that it's your biggest power. But I certainly found, and I found lots of my team members really benefited from having a diverse network and really consciously building it out. So being really clear about, who in the company was your sponsor, who was your champion, who were your best friends at work, who were the people that would tell you honestly when things were going wrong. And then outside the company, who are the customers that you could trust to give you a steer on product development if you didn't think things were going quite right? Who are the suppliers who would be able to talk to you? Who are the people in the wider ecosystem who would kind of help you when you were coming up for air? Just to get that kind of macro perspective and function at a completely different level than you otherwise would have done if you were just head down in your own business. So you need all those things: champions, advocates, critics, prophets. You want to kind of have them all around you, and at the same time make sure that you're paying it back and doing the same favour for other people.
So finally, and I think you might have had a crystal ball when writing this book, because you conclude with the greatest advice, which is true today as it was back then probably: navigate uncertainty.
Yeah. And in a sense, COVID is just another moment of huge uncertainty. And yes, it's global and it's been enduring now for over a year, so it's ongoing uncertainty. But I think the acceleration of change means that we've had uncertainty for as long as I can remember. And you look back through history and you go, oh, that must have been hard. Those Victorian times, that was a lot of change happening very quickly to a lot of people. So in a sense, uncertainty is nothing new, but we're certainly all really aware of it. And much more, I think, self-aware about how it affects us and our everyday lives. And so my attitude is always to lean into it, because uncertainty will bring difficulties, and that's where you need the kindness, the resilience, the looking after each other, and the clarity of mission, and the willingness to change where you need to. But as much as anything, it's an opportunity. Because where there is uncertainty, where there is change, there is opportunity for new ideas, new businesses, new roles, and from that comes growth.
Sarah, thank you so much for sharing your insights today. And I saw Quinten nodding along, so I guess what you're saying was very true.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, it's great to be with you all. Yeah, enjoy the rest of the afternoon.
Yeah, thank you so much. And everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. I think Elon will be coming along in our small, humble studio to present some gifts to our guests today. And I hear myself, which is very annoying. We're very sorry about the technical hiccups, and we really hope that you still had this amazing event today, and you learned something about these amazing chief operating officers of Virtual Gym and 3D Hubs, and also, of course, of Yolanda, of her story about building Otravo, and of course Sarah Wood. And we'll probably send you a follow email, will we, Elon?
I would like to thank everybody for participating. Hopefully everybody learned something as well. And hopefully see you at another virtual panel, and hopefully very soon also in real life at Fun Drinks. And thank you all. And here are some nice little gifts for you.
And also two more things. If you know someone for the analyst position at Endeit, please send Elon a message. And the breakout rooms will be open until I think 4:45. So if you want to meet some other cool entrepreneurs and investors, please join the breakout rooms and have a chat with them. So you can have some serendipity even in COVID times. Thank you so much for joining us today, and hope to see you soon at the next Endeit virtual seminar.
Goodbye.
Take care.
Bye.